Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through the Internet's #1 Mad Magazine news review and interview channel. And today we're live. That's right. Going through Mad Magazine, the latest issue of Mad Magazine. Kyle can't answer you. He's busy because he's here with me tonight. But just as a warning, dishonesty will get you banned. If you haven't already, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and make sure you leave a comment in the chat because I'm about to come back and say what up to everybody who is here this evening. Oh, yeah. If you want to support me in a way other than hitting like and subscribe, check out patreon.com/flippinthrough. The link is down in the description of this video. What do you get if you support me on patreon.com/flippinthrough? You get a 6 set of stickers. Look at, you get a sticker of this Potter's EB system of weights and measures. You know, this is the type of shirt you wear around, and people who are wise to cool things, they know what it is, and they'll say something to you. You also get a stencil, which I misplaced. A stencil of Alfred E. Newman that you can use to deface all kinds of public and private institutions. It's pretty cool. Anyway, these are the people that support me right now on Patreon, and that is Misimo, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Meadsbury, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope I can keep on earning it. With that, hey, I'm going to welcome in Kyle Bridgette.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hey.
How's it going? Hey, what the hell's with that title card image? I look like I'm like, you cut me out so weird. I look like I'm a GoldenEye character or something. I feel like we're gonna be going into the complex or something.
Listen, know what I need from you is I need a high definition. Yeah, I need a nicer photo of you that I don't screenshot from one of our live streams. That
and then cut out with like a rusty hatchet.
Yeah. I use my phone because it has like a little magic tool that cuts everything out. But we have a bunch of people here this evening. Well, we have 4. But that's going to change. We have Clown Nookie. What up, Clown Nookie? He remembered to hit the thumbs up. We have Harvey Esquire. Hello. He says hi to Clown Nookie, but not to me.
I'm right here.
Look at this. He says hi to Styx. He says hi to you. He says hi to everybody but me. Styx is here. So the views expressed by Kyle don't necessarily represent those of Patrick, the chat room, YouTube, Google, or its affiliate partners.
So, someone's cruising for a ban, you know.
That's how you get the ban hammer dropped on.
Oh
you.
Yeah.
Here's
should be kissing the moderator's ass. That's really that should be the #1 rule.
Yeah, if you've ever spent like, you know, early 2000s, late 90s, they used to have forums, right? You go onto a forum and you had to respect the mods. If you didn't, you were fucked. Because they'd kick you off, and then it's like, well, where am I going to find a forum for remote control cars?
Yeah, and you don't get anywhere in this world unless you're kissing ass. That's the bottom line.
I go by kiss ass, ask questions later.
There we go. No free shirts.
That is true. Well, yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Well, because I was talking about this awesome shirt that I got.
Oh.
Yeah. Free shirts win. Listen, we got to squash this. Free shirts never. That's win. Oh, look at Cozy Kyle, the coziest Canadian I know. You're cozy in the snow right now.
Oh my God! I spent like about 2 hours today shoveling. I have this awful driveway. It's like 100 meters long. I don't know what that would be for.
Freedom units. How many freedom?
I don't know. Like 300 feet.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Long enough. Like the shortest marathon, like when you're doing track and field, like the shorter distance that they have you run.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay.
And it's right between, like, there's only about a 10-foot clearance.
Yeah.
You know, on either side. So it's like I've got to take it all the way down to either end of the house. And my neighbors don't do it. They're young, and like we share a driveway. but they're young and they're just like, what's it matter if we don't clear out the snow? It'll just melt and the car will come out sooner or later. But
Right.
it's like, I've been stuck. I've been trapped. Like, because here in Halifax, we get snow, then rain, then freezing. And you can end up, like, cemented in, like that hard icing on, like, a gingerbread house or something. It's awful.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Minnesota. We get the same thing. We also get it where the plows will come, and then you'll get,
Yeah.
they always come after you shovel, and then you get this massive wall of snow that they throw up
And
there.
that's a real trouble, because if you don't get to that right away, that becomes an impenetrable wall, and you can
Yeah.
be stuck.
And you're
And
screwed.
it's heavy, too. So it's like, I usually try to get to it before, because then it's not as bad when they come after, but...
Yeah. People don't understand the laborious life that people in the North have to suffer through.
I mean, I didn't until I became a man and had to deal with it.
You're like those neighbors of yours, like,
Yeah,
the snow melts.
exactly.
It's in
and
its
then I got
nature
stuck.
to melt.
I got stuck for like 3 weeks. I was like, wow, now I have to walk to the grocery store. This sucks.
Yeah. Wait a second. I just remembered I got something. That I have to open up. I totally forgot about until this moment. I should cover up his address. Anyway,
It's New Brunswick, folks.
Brandon Hicks. He sent me a gift. He is a pretty cool dude. You kind of know him, don't you?
I know him from online, but I think I feel kind of like an affinity for him because he is a fellow freaky guy. Probably would have been a mad guy, in a couple years.
Yeah.
And he's from the next province over. So you were joking when we were talking earlier about it that like provinces can be huge, but in Atlantic Canada there's kind of like we're individual provinces, but then we're also kind of the same thing, like cause we're all sort of we have sort of like a similar kind of isolated politics.
Well, who owns Labrador?
So that would be like the maritime provinces, I believe. So the maritime provinces include Newfoundland, and I think the Atlantic do not. I can't remember how it goes. It's one or the other. But yeah, Labrador, it used to be called Newfoundland when I was a kid, and now, to be correct, you're supposed to say Newfoundland and Labrador.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But
they were pretty late, I think, to the Confederation. Like they were like a late comer to Confederation. Them and PEI, I think.
Like what? Like 98?
Not that late. But like like early 20th century.
Yeah.
As opposed to where I am in like Nova Scotia, where it's like, like I'm from Ontario originally, and like they still call me an Upper Canadian, like harkening back to like, the 17th century or something, even though I've lived here for like longer than I've lived anywhere in my life,
Yeah. Well, Brandon Hicks, like you said, he's a freaky guy. He has an awesome Instagram. He used to do these things that I missed, and I've told him as much. Soakers. Yeah, where he would draw on the what do you even call it?
I think he hates those. He must hate those because like every time he does one, there's just like 1,000 comments like, do more of this, do more of this. And it's like, who wants to draw on paper towel? It's fucking...
Well, he shouldn't have done something that was so cool.
That's it, yeah. His YouTube channel is really cool, too. He does a lot of animation and stuff that I think he also posts on Instagram. And it's criminally underfollowed, his YouTube channel.
Well, I should figure out where he's from. Where his YouTube thing.
If you go to my channel and you scroll down to featured channels at the bottom, he's in there along with like Slow Poisoner, Noah Van Sciver, and some other people.
All right, sweet. Well, he's
only got like 23 subscribers, but he should have like 20,000 subscribers. Like he's really cool.
Yeah. Let me see. How do I do? Do I do this? Yeah, that's right. And I switch them. But anyway, so he had posted this. Here, let me see if there's anything. There's any like gold in here or anything? No, there's not. He had posted this poster, this like romance poster. And look, he sent me 2 of them. Oh, sweet. And he had him print, three of them. Holy smokes.
Oh my god! Look, if you're good at something, Brandon, don't give it away. Certainly not 3 copies to this schmuck.
They probably all stuck together. He's like, God damn it.
There you go. Yeah.
But he did like this kind of like old school printing method. It's almost like, what is it? It's the type of thing. Do you remember in
the 40s?
In the yeah, but it was the movie Animal House. Like, what is that called? It's like it has a drum and you're able to like print stuff with it.
It's not electrostat. It's
yeah, I don't know what it is.
Mimeograph?
A mimeograph. That's what it seems like. And so like you have to do all the colors differently. And
now, is he printing it on that, or is he just mimicking that style?
No, it's here. I'll show. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna put this back. Wait, what the hell?
Yeah, thanks.
There we go.
No respect.
This is it. So you can see, like right there, he has the blacks.
Oh, it's letterpress.
But no, how is that letterpress? Because letterpress is you have to like typeset and you like put in the blocks, right?
No, because you can do like a ruby lith. You can do like ruby lith. Oh, maybe not. It looks similar, but you can do like a ruby lith print and have like a plate in letterpress as well.
Okay.
And it's very similar. Does it say what it is?
Well, it says collaborated with the great Scarlett McAllister on a Valentine's Day keepsake and ad with coupon for an act of self-love. I gave that up for Lent. Scarlett is exceedingly generous and creative with a polymathic approach to art and design that blows me away. She's got several vintage printing machines and wields them masterfully. Yeah, so he doesn't say what the thing is. Oh, oops, I forgot to like it. Anyway. I don't know. It looks like a mimeograph or something like that, but I don't know what it is.
I mean, also letterpress is kind of similar to that too, but it probably is a mimeograph because it's like rolling around multiple things.
Yeah. But anyway, how would you, like a one-of-a-kind experience with the person who loves you the most, for an unlimited time only, you can enjoy your own company, and it could be more fun than you think. Don't wait for another. Call yourself today. And then down here, this is like, I should zoom in on the illustrations too, because it is a cool effect, especially like the one up top. Take this coupon to your dearest you and self-redeem it for a free act of self-love. No exchanges or substitutions for other selves. And then, yeah, look at, so you get like, I don't know, it looks pretty cool. I think. Yeah, that's that. So, hey, if you want one of these, I don't know if he has more. Wait, where is it? I don't know if he has more. He's
practically giving them away, it seems.
No, he's literally giving them away. He said, like, if you want one, send me a DM. So I sent him a DM. I said, hey, I want one of those.
He probably wants a little something back in return, if you know what I mean.
Hold on, I forgot to mute my damn phone. All right, there we go. Now it's muted. Look at this. Hold on. Is that a vintage Gutenberg printing press? Yeah.
They had one at the university I went to. They had a printing, like a really nice printing studio, and they had a vintage Gutenberg press, but I never got to see it used.
You have to like turn the screw, right?
I think you had to be doing like a PhD to be able to like be allowed to use it or something. But it was always sitting there. It was really cool to see.
Yeah,
but mostly
I mean, it's always sitting there because
litho stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you know why it's always sitting there? Because who the fuck is getting a PhD in printing?
From my school, yeah, people, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, why not? In fact, when I was going there, because I took a bunch of printing classes and a couple of like bookbinding classes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like an international, like a student who had come from, I think, Australia. And she had like done a master's in like letterpress or something. And she got there. She had never actually used one because they didn't have access to like the printing materials. And she got to like, she was doing like a PhD at
Yeah.
my school and was just like in heaven because she was like all of a sudden she had access to all this stuff that she'd only learned about theoretically. So
Huh. Not a letterpress like the Gutenberg one. That's the one you're talking about.
probably
Yeah.
some other kind of press that they had. And they had all kinds of presses in there. There's a whole bunch of them. I didn't get to use most of them.
Yeah. The here, you know what I'm doing? I'm pulling up Brandon Hicks's YouTube channel. Boop. There it is in the comments for you.
I think his YouTube channel suffers for the fact that he gives a lot of stuff away on other platforms as well, and so people aren't sort of like directed to his YouTube. So like his soakers are on there.
Fucking love soakers.
Or at least I assume they're on there. But like he
has
lots
like
of
cartoons.
Yeah, he does all kinds of animation. And he uses different kinds of materials. He does like uses clay and he uses like puppets. And I see a soaker on there right away. And it's like there's a soaker on there. It's got 9 views from a year ago.
9 views?
It's insane, you know. But like on Instagram, I think he's doing much better. But like,
yeah,
it's just people aren't looking at it here, and it's it's a shame because he's really good.
It is. Yeah, it's so much fun. And there is like when I had Goldfarb on, the creator of Freaky Magazine, he was like, how did he describe me? He was like, at this point there is no Freaky without Brandon Hicks. Like, I think he views him very highly.
I feel like I might have told Brandon about Freaky. I don't want to be like I don't want to claim that and have it not be true. But we were talking like a year or two ago, and like I think I mentioned that one to him. It might have been the American Bystander or something else I mentioned to him. But But then I remember it's like the next month he was like the Sergio Aragonés of like Freaky, basically. Like he's like all over the thing, you know?
Yeah. So much like there would be no Freaky without Brandon, there would be no Brandon without Kyle Bridgette.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. He's the arts editor of I think the Manatine or something, some sort of like he does a lot of great stuff. Like he does a lot of stuff. But I remember I was just like chatting with him about, I think it was something that I wanted to submit to of his that he said no to me, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, you should check out Freaky.
Yeah. It's not often that I get to do what you do to me, which is twist my words.
Put you on the spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Make you look like an idiot. I would never do that.
Yeah. So, well, we got the brand new issue, the latest issue, I should say, of Mad Magazine. Should we just like get right into it?
Yeah, but before we get into it, I just got to say, oh man, I was hoping I could open my window, and it's kind of hot in here. But immediately there's like douchebags out there just yelling. Oh, I'm so drunk. Like, big deal, buddy. I'm drunk.
Do you live in
you
like
know?
a college town or something?
I live in like the university section of town, so it's like, and I live like equidistant between like where they party and where they live. Yeah. So it's like any given Saturday I'll go out and like morning and I'll like look at my lawn and it'll be like pylons and road signs and like sandwich boards and just whatever they picked up drunkenly on their way, and then they get to about my house and they're like, why am I carrying this? And they throw it down.
Or, oh shit, I have to ditch this. What did you want to say though?
About what?
Why? I said, like, should we get right into it?
Yes, here's what I wanted to say before I was so rudely interrupted by young people. Like Chewbacca or something. I can't do a Chewbacca impression. That would have been pretty cool. Oh, can you? Let's hear it.
Yeah.
That's Cowardly Lion.
No! I were king of the forest. Bro, I wish I would have. I wish my parents would have signed me up for acting classes. Anyway, I won't interrupt you again. I'm going to mute myself.
I don't need to be full screen, but since I am, you can see I've got this monitor here with my kid on it sleeping.
Yeah.
Not to be a creep and watch him sleep, but it's allowed when it's your own kid. It's not creepy. But he's been doing some sort of like wake ups and stuff. So if he wakes up, I might have to run and like give him a glass of water or something. Come back. So.
Oh, okay. I thought you had something interesting.
It's not
before we
interesting.
got
No, it's a
started.
caveat of like something that might happen, and I just
Okay.
want you to know because he's been waking up like 9 times a night, so it's a good chance it'll happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we
I
have
felt
it.
like that got built up too much.
got
Like it would
way-
have been just a quick thing, but then it really got built up.
It did. Oh, whoops! I gotta zoom back out. I had that soaker, or not the soaker, the poster thing. Oh yeah. Wait, I was gonna say, hey, if you guys want one of these, if he's all out, I got 3 of them. I
There
can
you go.
I can
But
send
now
one
it's on
out.
the secondary market, and they're out of print, so they're
yeah.
jacking up the price.
It will cost you money. It's gonna be the $10 perk for my Patreon.
That's what you should do. You should just like everyone sends you free stuff, and you should just like start giving it away for like people who give you money.
Yeah.
So not really giving it away.
Yeah. But if it's on Patreon, then it's like technically not selling, right? But
That's
it
true.
would-
Yeah, it's
would
it's
you-
hooking.
what do you think of this what do you think of this cover?
I mean, I don't love the layout. I think the layout's not great, but it's fun. You know, I don't watch Westworld the show. Is that still going on? Also, there's no E on the end of my name, buddy. I just noticed in the
What?
title here. You got me, Kyle Bridgette with an E in the end.
You know what's embarrassing?
I thought we were friends.
I looked it up. I looked it up to double check, and I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. I'll fix
Yeah.
it. I'll fix it in post.
Thank you.
Westworld.
You
is
can
that
edit
what
out this
is?
part where I complain about it.
Is this a reference to Westworld? I think it's just because he moved to Texas.
Oh, well, but that's the Westworld like poster, right? Like from the I don't watch the show, but I know the old movie. That was it. It was like the cowboy. Look it up.
Oh,
Westworld poster.
Yeah, okay, Westworld poster.
I assume that was part of it, right? And then Westworld are like androids and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
I know there's a show. I don't watch that show, but
Let's see. Oh yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, from the old movie.
yeah. And I think like Mad kind of knows its niche is 65 and up.
Yeah.
Especially now, I think probably more like there was probably more 12-year-olds before they switched from newsstands, but I feel like their references are getting more esoteric. You know?
That is pretty. I mean, because it's not even Westworld, like the one that is like recently popular. It's the '70s one or whatever it was. Yeah, 1973.
Yeah, but luckily the cover does stand on its own, I guess.
Yeah.
And it references like one of the new things that are in there, if there's any other new things in there other than the fold in.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's nice to see a new cover. It's
It is, and I liked this
topical.
the space Eck. Like you gotta
Oh
like
yeah, I
that.
didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. And there's like, back in the day, like there was like, when Norman Mingo was doing the covers, it was like there was just one main visual gag most of the time. But I feel like there are not many Norman Mingos walking around that can just do.
Well, I was thinking about that because you posted, I think today or recently, like your comic shop had a whole bunch of Mad magazines, probably from like the 70s or whatever. And they all look the same. They're all like white, Alfred E. Newman, Mad letters. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's better or... I know you like the more Spartan covers. I think you're sort of drawn to those.
Yeah, I do. Well, I like the ones that just feel a little bit different. Like the ones, the few that they did with just all text. I always enjoyed those a lot. But I think I just have an affinity for Norman Mingo. Maybe it's that it's sort of like he has that like they're all painted, right? Like I grew up like most people having all of those reproductions of who's that guy that would do the Sunday Times paintings of all the picturesque.
Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell, right? And so it's like those are visually nice to look at, but it's all corny images. It's like hokey stuff. Whereas the Norman Mingo covers are like they're beautiful, they're like very pleasant to look at, and they're silly. Like,
Well, I feel like he's not funny personally, but that like that's what makes him funny. He's like the straight man, you know,
yeah,
like in like a comedy troupe or so. He's like Zeppo or something, you know, like, and he sort of plays it straightforward. So obviously they're handing him the gag, and then like he's just like rendering it
yeah,
like he would render anything else. But then it's funny because he's like, the gag is funny, but
yeah.
he seems very like normal, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's like I don't know anything about Norman Mingo.
I think that was something about him that was kind of like curious to begin with, was that he was more of a straightforward like editorial illustrator
Yeah,
who just became a mad guy because he was chosen to like take the like, you know, the Alfred postcard and turn it into a painting that they could use over and over again.
yeah,
And then he kept at it, you know.
yeah. Um, hey, before I don't want to like go into the issue because there's something that I am extremely curious about, and if we wait till like the very end, we might be short on time, and that is the back cover.
Okay.
And I want to get to the bottom of this because it's weird. Um, because it says originally published in Mad number 238, released April 1983. But you'll notice it's
Well, did
see,
you pull that issue?
I did.
Yeah.
What
Let's see them
issue?
side by side and see if there's any noticeable differences.
Hold on. What did I say? What issue? 238.
238, I think.
Yeah. Well, and then okay, so here's the thing. And then there's an eBay price tag on it that says $49,999.99. So I don't know. Let's find it. Oh, here it is. So what? I mean, they changed it.
I don't know if it's so. The thing about the original is that it is commenting on a thing that was happening in the video game industry, where like Atari was like releasing these like garbage games, and they were like super expensive, and like you had no idea what you're getting. They turned out to be total crap,
Yeah.
and you know E.T. was like famously like kind of like the nadir of that or whatever. It was like the end basically of it. Killed Atari in a sense, you know, because it was like so crass and just backfired. And then
And
so I
well,
guess that this new one is sort of commenting on the sort of secondary market and the ways in which I guess now that thing that was stupid at the time is now even stupider because of like nostalgia and collectors.
yeah. Yeah, I guess yeah. I mean like hey, now that you point that out, I was just thinking about it from like the fact that like they changed it. Is that disrespectful or something? Um, but ET is a great example of that because it was such a tremendous failure that they famously like went out to a desert and buried truckloads of them. They were like, we can't sell this. Just dump it in the desert and call
Yeah.
it like write it off as a loss. And
But the Angry Video Game Nerd movie was about that.
oh really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have not seen that. But
You know who that guy is, though, right? I'm sure you know about him. He's pretty famous.
yeah, I'm certain I've watched because I do like old video games and I like so I watch videos by people
Yeah,
like him. But
yeah. I mean, he used to be better, like, but like when he first started, but now he's kind of irritating, like very, very, very irritating, and also old, and it's kind of more pathetic. but like, uh, but like, yeah, I enjoy that old video game thing too. Like, I like seeing old video games and like people like commenting on how they're bizarre, you know.
yeah, it is a nice like reproduction of it. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I
It
was
looks
curious about
lovely.
that too, like because I saw it on because right away I was like, okay, I got to look this up on because I knew it'd be the back cover.
Yeah,
Um, so I looked it up on Doug's site, and his copy of it is like really dark. Like his
yeah,
image of it, I thought, at least on
yeah,
my phone, it looked really dark. I don't know, maybe I
yeah.
had the red light filter on or something, but like, yeah, this is really nice. And I mean, that is something that Mad is doing now really well. Like, it is doing really nice reproductions. Like, it's like if it's gonna do reproductions of everything, at least it's doing it in a way that tends to be pretty nice, you know?
Yeah. Well, what's really cool, I mean, it doesn't come across in this live stream at all, but like there's all sorts of details in the arm that are totally lost on the old printing of it. And I think I would probably chalk that up to just nicer printing techniques.
Probably nicer paper too, you know?
Yeah. We got like more colors now. They didn't have all the colors that we have.
So as long as we're talking about changes, this was another one that I wanted you to pull the issue of.
Yes. And
this one I find more perplexing than the other one.
Oh. I see it.
Because in the original, it's like the gag is that like you're sort of peeling back the cover and you're seeing what's underneath. And I mean, that was not like, you know, Jaffe did this gag, but like, you know, that wasn't revolutionary or anything. But like for the gag to work, you have to see what's underneath. And where they've placed this doesn't make sense. And it makes even less sense because when you flip the page, like in the new issue, it's what you're seeing underneath. Which also doesn't make sense. I feel like I'm being gaslit here by Susie. Like she did this to just like irritate me personally. And then to make it even worse, that comic that you see now through the new one,
the Woodbridge,
was in that issue 258.
No way.
So it's like it's extra insulting. And then now I see that they actually changed Alfred on it too. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Which is I don't know. I don't like that because I mean like the image on here is what was drawn in the Mad computer program. And it's what's I have it towards the end of the intro. Like the drawing of it is what gets drawn when you use this, type in this computer program into an old ass computer.
I mean, I'm not too concerned about it because I feel like especially this section of the magazine now, I feel like is kind of like more about like design and like it's not necessarily reprinting the thing. I mean, even the shape of it doesn't make sense, right? Like the images underneath would cross the middle of the book, you know, like so it's like it's done larger as well, you know. I mean, you're not complaining about that, obviously.
No.
So I mean, I don't know. I never want to be the kind of guy who's like you can't change something, like even.
But
even
you just did. You just were that guy.
Well, but not because they changed it, but because the gag doesn't work. That's what irritates me. Is that like if like what should be under there should be your cutting board, really. Like that's the only thing that makes sense in this joke. Now if Susie had somehow made this so that like when you open this, it was your cutting board underneath.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
I mean, don't flatter yourself, but that would be mind blowing. But like here, I feel like it's just to like pick at my OCD or something. You know, not that I'm OCD, but you know, like everyone has a little bit of that, and it's just like, it's not under there.
Oh man, I'm gonna talk to Susie. Maybe they can reprint this.
Well, before we move on, let's find the fake
free speeches on the beaches. Mad. There you go. Page 28.
Well, that's new though. That's not fake. That's in here.
Oh yeah, because that's the Sneetches. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Tales from the Encrypt Keeper, breaking the fourth wall.
Fourth firewall.
Oh, the fourth fire.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. That's kind of cute. That's a little EC reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's the thing about Susie. She's like kind of cute, you know? Like I don't mean that in like a sexist way. I mean like she's got kind of a cute sense of humor. She's kind of quirky like that.
You creep. This is why
I'm married, buddy.
This is why she won't return my emails, by the way.
That's not why she won't return your emails.
Oh, yes, it is.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here.
Because
you're sending her so many.
Tom Richmond told me that's why.
If Tom Richmond, that's what he told you?
Yeah.
I shouldn't talk about Tom Richmond. Every time I come on here, I pick a fight with Tom Richmond.
He said that prick.
I didn't say that prick.
He said he really sunk your boat, man.
Oh, that's what he said about me.
Yeah.
He would, the fucking pompous ass. I'm just kidding. I think he's great. He's great, and he's not at all pretentious. And I'm not being facetious.
No, I
He's a
know.
good guy. He's a good guy. I'm not. I'm not a good guy.
I know.
He
Every
is.
time though, every time you say something that's just
God. Just something about him like makes me want to like sink my career by like saying something inappropriate every single
can I
time.
can I tell you though?
But
It's never. I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Forget it. Listen. Oh no, I remember now. If he has the wrong idea about us, totally reasonable.
about me, yeah,
About
not you.
you, but by extension me, because I keep having you on here.
That's true. That's true. That is
Yeah.
like you're just like rubbing it in his face.
Yeah.
If anything, that makes you worse than me. But you know what? It's Dave Burke. He's the one. If his estate is watching, like they have some real beef.
They better kiss my ass, man, because I'm the only person that likes Dave Burke at this point.
Anyway, you know who I have nothing bad to say about is George Woodbridge.
George
Who I
Woodbridge.
think
Oh,
did
Woody.
this. Yeah.
Nobody called him that. I'm sorry. If computers are so brilliant, writer Tom Koch, artist George Woodbridge. Yeah, this is the 1985 issue that we were just looking at. Oh, you knew that though.
Yeah.
What do you love about George Woodbridge?
I mean, just his like ability is like through the roof, and then on top of that, he's funny. He's got these characters that are, like grotesque almost, but
Yeah,
like they're grotesque in the way that they're like almost not grotesque. So you've got characters like if you go up to the top, like the sort of in the panel in the middle, sort of just one over, you've got
yeah,
this boss yelling, and he's got these like terrifying teeth, you know. And then you've got this like wimpy guy in the front, and then he's also despicable. Like something about the way he's drawn, like, you know, like he's drawn like his position makes you so you should feel bad for him,
yeah.
but also you don't because he just manages to be ugly in that way that is like
Totally
just too
unsympathetic.
close to not being ugly that it becomes like completely discordant. And you know, and then on top of that, he's got like these like sort of like 19th century illustration sort of inclinations, you know, where he looks almost like he's doing like Gustave Doré kind of prints or something, you know.
You've
Like
talked about that before. Like I think invoking old Gustav.
I don't know if I would feel different if he was in color. I'm not sure if I've seen much of his stuff in color.
But okay, so like, what is something? Is there something on this page that it
This page is
feels
not a
nice?
great example of
Okay,
that.
all right,
But
shoot. Okay,
um but like other examples would be like, you know, when he's illustrating like Bible themes or stuff like that, and he's
yeah,
doing these big kind of images. He really does like have a very very like studied hand.
yeah,
And so I think that's kind of what it is. Whereas like those sort of old, sort of like printers or whatever, like people who are doing like old like
etchings.
etchings,
Yeah,
it's like they would have come through like a system of like, you know, like mentorship and stuff. And so like by the time they get to that point, they're like the best in the world, you know.
yeah,
And but there's also not a lot of competition because you can't really just pick it up.
yeah,
And he kind of affects that style where he's so talented. It's hard to describe, but it's like that's something that always sort of strikes me. And in this, he's not doing a lot of like hatching or anything like that, but it's probably because the illustrations are so small,
yeah.
you know.
Well, like one of the thing about Woodbridge is I like Woodbridge. I enjoy his illustrations, but I think that I lack an understanding to fully appreciate him the way you
I think
do.
he's an artist, you know.
Yeah,
Like I think he's the kind of guy that like I remember when I was on, it was a few times ago when I was on with Noah, and he said
yeah,
right to me, he's like, "What do you think about that cross hatching?" Because it's like, it's so sweet, you know, like that you feel jealous of him, you know, and his abilities in a sense, you know, like because he's just so like talented technically.
yeah,
And then on top of that, he's funny and he has this great sort of like ugly style that like I'm drawn to as like a weirdo, you know?
yeah. All the like the characters with these jowls These like droopy
Yeah, and like
cheeks.
sharp teeth.
Yeah.
Really kind of weird, like rictus grins. Like I don't know, just something about him. He's really interesting.
Yeah. All right. Nice. Here we got my guy, Caldwell, or
Yeah,
PC
he's
Bay.
one of my guys as well. I really loved Caldwell growing up.
Who is the guy? I said PC Bay. Who is the guy I always mistake Caldwell for?
Oh my god.
I did a short. I did a
Damn
YouTube
you!
short.
Damn you! I do it too. And their work doesn't look
It
similar,
doesn't.
but they're doing similar kind of articles, and they both have like a wiggly line.
Yeah. You've
Damn
definitely
you!
bought the wrong robot if by John Caldwell. Well, I made a YouTube short. I've been trying to get the shorts thing figured out.
Yeah, how are those working for you?
Dude, hit or miss, man. Some of them, like the last one I did was like 19 views, and I had one that had hundreds of views before that, and it's very difficult.
I'll have some that'll have like 12 views, and then one that'll have like 1,700 views.
Yeah.
And I started doing shorts last month, and I post a short every day. One is an R. Crumb interview, one is like an old cartoon, and one is just some like piece of ephemera from a weird movie or something.
Yeah.
And it's any one of them could do well any day, any time I post. There's no reason to it. And like, and now my subscriptions are going insane because like I'll get a bunch of subscriptions and they all quit the next day.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth it, but
I want more of those like mid-century Russian cartoons. And then
I don't think it's quite that esoteric, but it's more like, it'll be like movies from like the exploitation movies from the 70s with that kind of like weird otherworldly bad acting,
Yeah.
or like just stuff like that. I have some clips from this is not Peter Paul Porges.
No. That's not the guy. Yeah, he was trying to help us remember.
Oh, no. It's not that. It's a guy who is always in Hustler.
I should look it up. Somebody look it up on my
play your
short.
video. Just play the damn video.
All right, hold on.
It's only a minute or
YouTube.
less.
Here we go. Oh, wait. Do I have to switch it so that you hear my thing?
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to just play it and I'll tell you?
Here, I'm just going to stop sharing. Present. Share screen.
It's the kind of thing, if you hadn't said anything, I probably would have just commented on it. But now that you've said it and I have to think about it, I can't remember.
All right, here we go. I got it. Add to stream. Oh, Jesus. Look at, what am I doing? This thing is so hard to figure out sometimes. Here we go. A lot of people ask me, how do you tell the difference in the artwork of John Caldwell and Tom Chaney? Well, I'm here.
That's it, Tom Chaney.
The artwork of John Caldwell.
I like Tom Chaney better, I think.
Usually has really wide-legged characters, big noses, kind of a shaky line, and the gags are told in one panel. The characters drawn by Tom Chaney usually have big noses, drawn with kind of a shaky line. They have wide legs, and the gags happen in one panel.
I feel like wide legs is a big thing.
I thought that was such a genius video because I switched up. When I was talking about Tom Chaney, I was showing Caldwell, and when I was talking about Caldwell, I showed Chaney, and nobody appreciated it. So that's that.
And I think I was always drawn a little bit more to Chaney. He did like cadavers. Like there's that great one with like other uses for cadavers or whatever, or pranks you can do in the morgue or something. It's really funny.
I think that's a Caldwell.
I think that was Chaney, wasn't it?
Chaney was the condom one.
Okay.
But I feel, I don't know, I like Caldwell's writing a little bit better. It's a little more juvenile, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
Chaney was in like Hustler and other porno mags and stuff like that. Like
so he does the sexy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More adult.
Yeah, more adult. And this is a family show, so that's why it tracks that I wouldn't like him.
Because families hate adults.
You've definitely bought the wrong robot if, in the owner's manual under troubleshooting, the lone entry reads, under no circumstances should you try to shoot back. Well, maybe I should have picked a better one.
Yeah, that was not very good.
Yeah, right after I talk about how I love his writing, I don't
like
know.
the second one. I find pretty funny.
It's one of those older models, easily taken in by clever telemarketing scams. 6397 expiration date. Oh, I love it. It looks like a little kid too.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, these are fun robots, man, because I don't know. They don't look like your
They're all
typical
kind of the
robot.
same kind of form, eh? Like there's none of these are like a totally different type of robot. They're all kind of like the same kind of tin can, like Bender or something, you know?
Yes. I guess that's why I kind of like them, is that they don't look like a robot you would expect to see somebody draw. They look like kind of a shitty robot, which I guess is the whole joke, right?
I mean, that is the kind of robot I would expect people
Yeah.
to draw. Because that's like the generic robot is like the shitty, like tin can robot.
I
Or
don't
at least
know.
maybe it's not anymore. You know, it used to be.
No, man, it's this. It's sexy robots from Westworld.
I feel like the sex robot is like the modern flying car, where it's like we're not actually going to get them. You know, like they're not. It's not a real possible thing. You know, like
Don't they have them already?
not really. No, they have like glorified inflatable dolls. You know, like
Yeah.
and they have like that you can hook up to your computer or whatever for like whatever some sort of specific vibration or whatever. But I don't think you're going to get like this the sentient like.
You're not going to get the inkle.
What I'm saying is there's not going to be a de-skilling of hookers with robots. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's the promise now. I feel like now people have given up on flying cars and they're like, well, in 10 years from now, everyone will be fucking robots, But like 10 years from now, people are going to be like, I was promised robots, Instead, I've just got like, more elaborate subscription services,
Yeah. People will be wearing ironic T-shirts that say like, I was promised a sex robot and all I got.
Yeah, and if you don't pay your monthly fee, then like your T-shirt will turn plain or something.
Oh my good. Hey, have you
read?
We'll
all live underground because of.
Have you read Jodorowsky's The Inkle?
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And now, but I say Jodorowsky. I don't know if that's better.
Well, I don't know. I've never heard it pronounced, to be honest. Yeah. My father
went to
once
school with Sergio, eh? He went to like mime school with Sergio.
Pantomime school, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you told me that.
Okay.
But
well,
I'm
maybe
going
that's
to bring
just
up
one of my facts. I got about 10.
It's George Woodbridge being like some old guy. Jodorowsky pantomiming with Sergio, and then 8 others.
Yeah.
This is, I have to say, I do like this.
So wait, why'd you bring up the Incal? Where was that going to go? I'm curious.
I'll bring that up later. But I just want
because I do really love the Incal. I think it's an excellent book.
I love it, and I love Mobius. I could just stare at his artwork forever. It's amazing.
Yeah. He's a joy to behold. That's for sure.
I really want to find copies of Blueberry.
I don't have that. Yeah, I would love to have that. That's definitely kind of like, I don't go looking for Mobius because it's easy to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to have more.
Yeah. Well,
he did a lot of great pairings with Jodorowsky.
He did. Well, and, like the thing is with Mobius, when I discovered him as an adult, and I was at the comic shop talking about how much I love Tintin, and that was an artist, Herge or whatever his real name was. I would just flip through those books and just stare at his drawings and be amazed at how much he communicated with like a single line.
Well, he's known for that clean line style, right?
Yeah. And Mobius is like the next generation of that.
Yeah.
So when I saw
Farda, he's another good one for that.
Who's that?
Jos Farda.
Farda.
Sorry, Juiced Swart. Sometimes it's spelt. Yost Farda. It's Yost Farda. I know that because I read it in the Comics Journal in an interview where he was like, actually, this is how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was another kind of like he was like a kind of like more humor based,
Okay.
clean line style guy from
Yeah.
Europe. Would have been in. He was in Raw. He would have been in heavy metal and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
Metal Hurlong or whatever.
Well, I remember the guy in the like when it was Adina. They reprinted that like not that long ago, and he was like, "You should check this out." And so I bought it on the spot, and it was just like it blew my mind. I was like, "This is what I was looking for. This is like more Tintin." Yeah.
There was a great collection of his stuff, like sort of like the essential Mobius that was put out, and now they're so expensive. Like they're just these little like I've got one of them. I've got the Horny Goof, which is I think the first one, but there was like a whole series of these sort of like perfect bound, European style BD collections, and they must have just come out in the 90s or something, or the late 80s. And they would have been like Heavy Metal or someone like that was putting them out, and they were cheap. Yeah. But like now, if you want to go buy one of those, it's like so expensive. It's so weird that his work is not more widely available in English.
Yeah, it's some of the book prices. It's obscene. Like I get it if something was printed and it's like the Mad Artist Edition, right? That was like $100 brand new, and so if it's like 150 now or like even 200, it's like, okay, I can see that. But when you get into like multi times the original price, it's a little frustrating.
Well, and that Mad book is kind of different because that is kind of like a limited edition art thing. That's like that's kind of what the publishers have sort of stumbled into. Like now, it's like it's more worth your money to do a shorter run of like a really fancy, like giant book, and then it's like heavily produced and stuff, and and then you'll sell out, and then you're done. And part of the reason you sell out is that people buy them up and then jack up the price. But it's weird when it's like something like that would have been mass produced, and it's like if you want to go pick up one of those books, that there's just I'm sure there's tons of them floating around.
Yeah,
it's just so much money. It's just so much online.
Man, God damn it.
We got a Cooper. This is when he's doing like stencils still.
Yeah. And now it's probably is it like airbrush, you think? Or is it
I think he was like using stencils and airbrush.
Yeah.
And then like I don't think this is digital. This is from when? 98, yeah.
98.
Because he was really kind of known for pioneering these sort of techniques and like really using them in an interesting way. I remember the first time I saw him was like it was a comic using a dollar bill. It was like a dollar bill was each frame, and then there was like this rich guy coming along, like rolling it up and smoking it and stuff. But he did it with like these really interesting printing techniques. I think he used some stencils, and it's very interesting, and it makes sense for Spy versus Spy too, right? Because it has that military aesthetic.
Yeah, well, and I like it because it was such a departure. Like they had done, Clark and Ewing and Manick had all like kind of stepped in and done Spy versus Spy, but it was
worse.
Like mimicking that original style. And so it was nice to have like a clean delineation between those and have it feel different.
Take the material and run with it, and that's what you want,
Yeah, it was really cool though to see him switch over from like the actual stencil to like keeping that aesthetic, but it not being created the same way at all. Like
he did more color, and then he started like trying to put so many strips into a page. Which they're always beautiful. Like they're always like so nice to look at. I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm kind of like I don't find Spy versus Spy that funny anymore. I don't know. Maybe
because you have a child and you know the value of life now.
Well, no. The thing is that like I'll probably get back into it because when my kid hits about 5, he'll be able to read Spy versus Spy. And I have the case books over here.
Yeah.
And I know little kids love Spy versus Spy. That's why I love Spy versus Spy because I started reading Mad before I could read. So it was like Spy versus Spy was something I actually could read. But I don't know. I feel like I read them now and I'm just kind of like, okay. I mean, if they're Coopers, I prefer to look at a Cooper, because at least a Cooper's, it's like I'm more interested in the actual appearance of the thing, you know?
Yeah. Call it the Cooper Scooper. Here's something though. What about his last one? Do you remember that? The one for like the 70th anniversary? That Spy versus Spy?
That one did feel like I'm never going to get a chance to do this again. So I have to do everything I ever want to do with it. Yeah.
It was like, it felt like a piece of, I don't know, surreal isn't the right phrase, but it was like, it was a piece of art. More so
I was torn on it because I thought it was beautiful. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But if I remember, I think it didn't read very well. I thought that was kind of like... what's it, marginalia?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to distract you.
Yeah, I don't know. I if I'm remembering that one right, I think I was a little bit torn, because I do always feel like you shouldn't skip on readability, you know, like you shouldn't, like, it should be functional first and foremost, and then after that, then, you know, how beautiful or how grotesque can you make it or whatever. But it was also like, it was very indulgent is what I remember about it. And I like it for that, but I'm also like a little critical because it's like, yeah.
Well, this is what I really liked about it, though, is that there was the part that was very clearly readable, and then there's that sort of kind of like the optical illusion parts of it. I'm trying to find the word to like describe it, which I won't be able to.
It had like callbacks and stuff. It like went into its
stuff. And
I don't remember exactly, but
the panels, like, they interacted with each other. Separate stories interacted with each other.
Yeah.
And so it was like you could just read the story, and then there was like this other level where it's like a puzzle to figure out. And it's the puzzle wasn't so convoluted as to ruin the experience or to distract from it, I felt. It was like something you could discover if you just stopped and watched it a little longer.
Maybe. I like it that he plays with the medium. That's something I love about Cooper, is that like he's aware of the medium, and he uses it very effectively, and he like explores like the limits of that and like stuff. But you know, if it's not readable, like if you have to kind of step out of it to read it, I think that takes away. You know, like a really good comic, like, you know, it should be working on a level where you're not thinking about how it's working. You know,
which
like the art.
Well,
of,
I guess
like
I ultimately I disagree with you, because I think it did that, and then it did the other thing, where you think it's broke, where you feel it was broken. I think that it did attain that first objective, and then it did the broken thing.
You might be being a little more charitable, maybe, than I am. I don't know. It's hard because it's not in front of me, right? Like, so I can't. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I do remember that was kind of like my beef with it. But it was minor, you know. Like, often when like I have complaints, it's like it's after saying like, you know, I do think it's beautiful, or I think, you know, like it's interesting or whatever. But I do think that like if you have to kind of step out of it a bit to kind of figure it out, I consider that a problem.
Yeah. So like if Peter Cooper wants to learn how to draw a comic strip,
he should come
your
to me.
DMs are open. It's twice in one day.
Here's another youngster that should come to me for a little bit of advice. Sergio here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I
love everybody like shooting at these drones and stuff. I love the woman shooting at the drones in the bikini.
Yeah, when was this? When did this get?
This can't be too old. This has got to be fairly recent.
Oh, 2017.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yes. Was I in Mad at that point? I think I might have been in one of this issue.
Oh yeah, I think you were, dude. Look at that.
I don't remember, 554 or 44. It ended at 550.
Yeah.
So I was in it around this time. I don't remember if I was in this issue.
Look it up. Mad cover. little bit. Hey guys, if you are tuned in right now and you have not already, please consider hitting like, hitting subscribe, and leaving a comment in the chat. We love them.
My first issue.
Here's Sticks and Fly. Oh yeah, there you are.
That was the first issue I was in. So, boom, I'm in that one.
Nice. Never give up on flying cars. Mad Mania. Mad Mania. That's Mr. Burke. That's the producer, the creator of Bad magazine, which I got
now,
a new one.
Now, is it him or is it some sort of computer-generated bot that's coming in here and commenting on his behalf? This is the issue for you. This is like the algorithm digital issue here.
Yeah. I have a, whatchamacallit. I got a new issue of it in which I play a major role.
There you go.
It's pretty sweet.
Well, that's his big mistake. Is it like, who the hell are you?
I'm the #1 Mad Magazine news review and interview channel.
Yeah. That makes you like the number like 1 millionth YouTube channel, if not even.
I thought Tom Richmond had you guys on in the background while he was slaving away on Claptrap.
Maybe. I mean, I'm still waiting for my issue. My copy of that.
Don't bring that up. You guys, you have to be charitable. No.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Like, I'm not, like, impatient or anything. I get the emails. Yeah. I don't read the emails.
Yeah.
Because, like, emails are, like, a thing that come into my life, and I'm just like, oh, not another one. But, like, I'm excited for that book to come. You know, I got space on my shelf for it, so.
Yeah. It's, yeah. I think they're doing everything right, you know, because, like I said, those things are always late. You just got to know it, you know?
Oh, it's late?
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know it was late. I just thought I didn't look at when it was supposed to come out.
Yeah. I mean, like, every single comic that's on one of those crowdfunding sites, they're all late.
Well, you know what the problem is? When Tom's working for Matt, he's not getting paid till the artwork's done.
Yeah.
Now he's getting paid up front, and he's like, I already spent the money.
So what, am I doing this for free?
I bought 3 more cinematic Batman suits.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
You can only wear one at a time. That's the problem.
He should do, I don't know, maybe he does this. I don't even, does he have a YouTube channel? That'd be cool if he did like a draw stream.
Where he's dressed like Batman?
No, just where he draws, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, that'd be great. Like, I'd love to see some videos of him drawing. He's like such a pro, you know?
Dude, think of how many people would tune in if he did it on Facebook and YouTube and like threw the link out and was just like, yeah, ask me questions and I'll just answer them. I'll talk.
I don't know. I wonder why he doesn't. I think does he do that already, or does he?
Well, I don't know. That was my question.
I gotta imagine if he doesn't do that already, it's got to be because he doesn't want people to know what he does.
Yeah.
But he wrote a book about it, so I mean.
Or it's such a. I mean, here's the other thing: is it's like having gone through everything to like set up, and like I did kind of go all out. It's kind of a pain in the ass, right? It's like why would I do that? I'm already sort of like at the pinnacle, and like why do I need to make videos and live stream?
I don't know. I mean, he does a blog that's like researched and stuff, so why does he have to do that either?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because we want it, Tom. That's why.
I would watch it. I mean, I think that'd be very informative. I think he's like incredibly skilled caricaturist. You know, it'd be a joy to see him work. Yeah. I guess the idea is that you can go pay him to like draw you.
Yeah.
There you go. So he has some how-to caricature videos.
Yeah, that's different than what I'm talking about. Because like David Finch.
Oh, David Finch?
Yeah. David Finch, the comic artist.
Funny.
He's not funny, but he's an amazing artist. And he'll do things on YouTube where it's just like, he's just sitting and his wife's hanging out and she'll be like, hey, they want to know, like, you know, how do you draw Batman, his muscles? And he'll be like, oh,
he's really technically really good. I don't know a lot of like mainstream guys, but he came to a comics jam that I ran in Windsor, Ontario, because he lived in Windsor, Ontario for a while.
Yeah. He's bald.
And yeah, he's very bald. I think like partially by choice, at least. Like he's not just like bald, he's like also gone in there,
Yeah.
taking a little off. But yeah, he came to a comics jam that I ran, and yeah, really talented, really interesting guy, because he's like he seems like he wasn't a guy who was interested in art. He seemed like a guy who was like, oh, that could be a job, and then he like made a career out of it.
Yeah.
Like I remember him actually telling a story about how like he had like flunked out of university or something, and then he was like at home, and his parents were like, well, you have to figure out something because you're getting out of here. And he like picked up a comic book and was like, I could do that, and then like went to school for it. And
Yeah.
I don't know if he went to like the Kubert school or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he just got into the business.
It's
and he's
amazing.
a pro,
Yeah.
Which probably makes it easier in some ways, because like, he's not like as like emotionally invested in it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that's
like,
true.
But he's into the craft. Like, I'm not trying to knock him in that way, but like, that was my impression of him anyway. That he was like very like pro journeyman kind of guy, like very realistic view of it,
I think having that outlook and being like that type of person can be Monty Wolverton. Can be very beneficial. There's Sean Gordon Murphy. He is like he's created his own like Batman universe at DC Comics, and he said in interviews he's like, I didn't read Batman. It's like that wasn't the type of comic I liked, but he's created like a pretty awesome Batman universe that's based. Like what it's based on is like the movies and the animated series. None of the comics. It doesn't seem.
I mean,
like
that's probably what more people know it for, really.
Yeah, but it's I think like having that sort of like outsider approach where you're not influenced by maybe your own nostalgia for the artwork or for the characters can be very beneficial.
Well, I think it's also there's a kind of detachment that can be helpful, because I think as an artist, like it's almost like being like mentally ill or something, right? Where it's like, where if you're like, really creative, it's like you have to do that. Like you can't not do that. It like makes you sick not to do it. And then like, then you can have all this like really really tough, like emotional baggage to everything you do. And it can make it very precious. And, and it can be like very difficult, like to like not be able to like let go, or, sort of just do it. Like, it takes, because drawing is like an act of will, like you have to visualize it and you have to make it happen. And it's like, you can't get around that. You have to pick up a pen and do it. And so it takes a degree of willpower. And if it's like deeply like spiritual experience for you, it's like that can be, once money enters into it, can be very difficult,
Yeah. I wrote to Angelo Torres thinking he would be funny, but he wasn't having any of it.
Well, he didn't do exclusively humor, right? Like he came out of like golden age like comics, I believe, like sort of near the end of the golden age.
Really?
Well, we looked at some of those when that one time you came on my stream.
Oh yeah.
We looked at like old like Mad artists before they were in Mad. I think we found some Angelo Torres that was like,
found some sick Dave Burke with like a Hitler tank.
He's more known for like girly stuff. I think he did a lot of like, like not Tessie the typist, but that kind of thing,
Yeah. Oh man. How about this though? Some Monty Wolverton. I think
Love Monty.
We talked about him and how like he did a really cool thing with like taking his dad's style and making it his own.
Yeah, like I don't feel like he's like taking his dad's style necessarily. I don't know. I gotta imagine that it probably was natural. Here's the thing about Wolverton, Basil. He was in a cult, and he did all the artwork for the cult. So you got to kind of assume that maybe Monty grew up in it, and so you would have been seeing that stuff. So if you've ever picked up the Wolverton Bible, I don't know if you have that.
I don't.
Well, it's like he did. It's a collection of his stuff that he did for like all of their Jehovah's Witness like
Yeah.
comics and pamphlets and stuff like that and books. And so the thing is, like, if that's what you're absorbing constantly, then you're going to end up looking like that, you know?
Well, I know. I mean, that, yeah, I didn't mean like he took his dad's style and like to disparage him, right?
No,
But it's
I
like
didn't think he
clear.
did, but
It's clear that it was like that's where he
it's
learned
clearly an
what.
influence, whether it's
Yeah,
like intentional or just through osmosis, you know?
yeah. Oh my God. And it's Bible stories.
It is, but it doesn't read very well. You're talking about the Wolverton Bible? I
Yeah.
have that right here.
Oh
Right
man.
here. Yeah, it's the artwork's incredible.
Oh, here, let me do a solo.
And it's especially incredible because their particular religion, like their
Yeah.
version of Christianity, was like Genesis and then Revelations, basically. So it's like all like just
Oh my gosh.
this sort of apocalyptic imagery that's like that he's so well suited to doing.
That's
and a lot of like
gorgeous.
great like idols and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the problem is it doesn't read like a book. So they've tried to like sort of put it in order and then have kind of like abbreviations of that section
Okay.
of the work, and it's kind of unfortunate. Like it doesn't read like that, but it's still like it's amazing to have as like a reference material.
Yeah,
But
so
I
maybe
think
like
it does suffer for reading as a book.
okay. But like I guess if that was things he had done for his congregation, right? Like then it was
Yeah, because he was like high up in that
presented
church.
it was presented in some other form or fashion, but then they just have
Yeah.
this artwork, not the original.
As like illustrated stories. Yeah, it would have
Yeah.
been come out like that. So it would have been like, here's the story for kids and here's the imagery to like scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. Dude, those are beautiful. I
It's a
love
great book. Like it's a really cool book to have.
Yeah.
But it just that's my main complaint is that like I was so excited to read it and then I'm just like, oh, like how boring to read this compared to like something like Crumb's Genesis,
Yeah.
which is like is very readable. Like it's done like a comic format.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then-
and
but
it
they're
also
also very
has-
different because like Wolverton was a sincere believer,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like Crumb is like not. You know, like he's not venerating the text in the same kind of way.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like we talked about that before. Like with Crumb's take on Genesis, it was like it did seem like he took it very seriously. It wasn't something like
He respects the text, but he doesn't believe it's the word of God. Like he just believes
Yeah.
it's like a really interesting old text. It's like how if like I were to illustrate Beowulf or something, you know, like you know,
Yeah.
it's not like I believe that. It's not like that has like a deep cultural resonance to me in the same sort of sense it would have to like whatever like people in Mesopotamia or wherever.
yeah.
But like
And you wouldn't disrespect the Gorgon.
never. I would never disrespect a Gorgon.
Good.
But I love mythology. I love mythology and religious iconography.
Yeah. Yeah, so do I. I think I might have to, I don't know, save up for it or something and get that Wolverton
Have
Bible.
you seen that Gilgamesh book that came out? It's really interesting.
No, man.
This is a few
I hear
years
about
ago.
nothing.
It's really good. This book right here, The Epic of Gilgamesh,
Yeah.
illustrated by a father and son team, which is kind of neat. One is like a scholar of the text, and the other is a cartoonist.
Oh, cool.
And he illustrates it like a comic, very readable. But he also like he does a little bit of humor in it, and he does a lot of like references to. So there's like guys that look like it gets kind of cartoony, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And he has like guys that look like Charlie Brown and guys that look like Mr. Natural and stuff. He's obviously making references to cartoons.
Yeah.
Epic of Gilgamesh, really good book.
It's a classic.
Yeah, but I mean, this specific volume that's illustrated as a comic is especially good.
Oh, okay. All right, nice. Here we have small but significant inventions of the past. Somebody invoked the name of Paul Peter Porges earlier. That was Styx McFly.
Oh, you skip Peter Bagg.
I know. Well, that's because, I mean, we're not even halfway through this thing. And we're
I
an
know.
hour
I
in.
know.
Look at there's Peter Bagg.
It's just such a novelty for me to see him because I think he was in during that period when I wasn't reading Mad.
Yeah.
You know, but I do really like Peter Bagg a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read Hate or like the Bradleys or like Neat
No,
Stuff.
I didn't. I've never read Hate. They just did that like release, like hardcover of like the complete Hate.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Sometimes I have a really hard time pulling the trigger on things, especially if I don't have like if I've never read them before.
Oh, they're good. Like these,
Yeah.
it's a really fun story. Like you follow the characters over a long period of time. They're like Gen Xers.
Yeah. See, but I'm a millennial, so I probably wouldn't relate.
That's true. I'm an elder millennial, so I have some sort of like, retroactive
tendencies.
Gen X kind of quality. I'm like an Xennial, really. I fit in that sort of category.
Well, yeah, two of my siblings are like 10 years older than me. And so they're deep into being Gen Xers. And so I feel like I have some Gen X tendencies, but I don't want to disrespect my people. So
well, there you go. So you might actually appreciate it because you might sort of see those siblings kind of reflected in those characters. Yeah. I got a piece so bad. Are we going to take an intermission?
Yeah, let's take an intermission. That's a great idea. Here, I'll make you disappear. I'll make this disappear. Here I am. We're going to do a little intermission so that we can urinate and maybe even defecate. Here's a lovely intermission made by our friend Kyle Bridgette, Little Cozy Nostril. If you guys haven't already, please make sure hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment in the chat. Whoever rates the funniest comment when I get back will earn a set of stickers.
It's a gas!
Been a nurse in that room for 2 weeks. How come they're all rushing in now?
It's tip time. Nurses can smell patients who are checking out a mile away.
I guess you're right. 4 of them are from another hospital.
The heart patient in 413 just had a serious relapse. What happened?
Well, he rang the button over his head for a nurse, and one actually showed up.
Miss Fuddle, you've got the name tags on these babies all mixed up. Now we'll never know which infant is which.
Don't worry, the mothers will never know either.
Hey, who put a lock on this bathroom door? Bathroom doors in hospitals are not supposed to have locks.
I know. They're taking all the fun out of nursing. Now how can we walk in unexpectedly and embarrass the patients?
Ready to operate, Doctor.
Okay, Mr. Gumbill, now just drink this glass of whiskey and bite down on this bullet. We'll have that little old gallbladder out in a jiffy.
Maybe I better check the credentials of this new anesthesiologist.
How awful. If only he could have held on for another hour.
Why? Is his doctor coming?
No, we could have charged him for an extra day.
Nurse, what's the idea of allowing Mr. Fulvis to fall asleep? You know he's supposed to have the medication I prescribed at precisely 8 p.m.
I'm sorry, Doctor. It won't happen again.
Okay. Now wake him up and give him the sleeping pills.
I gave the patient lunch, and he threw up.
Well, that's not unusual, considering the food in this hospital. Try feeding him intravenously.
I did.
And?
His vein threw up.
Melissa. Come on, try again. Now, this has been going on for 3 days now. Why can't you admit this patient?
Well, he hasn't been able to tell us his Blue Cross number.
But these charges are ridiculous. $30 for a box of monogram stationery and $250 for a donation to your new Sarah J. Fingerhut Memorial Pavilion.
But, sir, one of our solicitors sold these to you right after you came up from the recovery room.
I don't remember that at all.
Of course you wouldn't. You were delirious at the time.
How dare you charge me for a private room when my bed was in the corridor?
Because yours was the only bed in the corridor.
Where are you going with that garbage? I'm taking it out to dump it. Idiot! That garbage isn't garbage going out. That garbage is food coming in.
Hello and welcome back to Flippin' Through the Internet's #1 Mad Magazine news review and interview channel. Here we are with Kyle Bridgette, Little Cozy Nostril.
You can say Lil too, Lil L-I-L.
Lil Cozy Nostril. There he is. Here, Will. Look at there. I got you back up.
You know, my kid loves that song, that It's a Gas song.
Yeah.
But the version on Spotify only has burps. There's no farts. It's a weird, different version. And I mean, he would really appreciate the farts, you know, like more than burps. Like he likes burps too, but like obviously burps are here, farts are here, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, poop is up here. So like, you know,
barf. Where's barf?
He likes barf too. Actually, a few weeks ago, I drew a wizard barfing on the. My wife and I, we got like letters on the fridge, and so like. Sometimes we walk by and we'll make something. So for a while there, I was like drawing whatever, and it was like always a wizard for a while for some reason. It was just kind of an inside joke. And there was one that I drew barfing, and he came in, he goes, "Is he puking?" And he just like cracked up. He loved it. He thinks it's so funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it gets a little boring to have such juvenile humor all the time. You know, I'm a little more sophisticated, I hope, but.
Yeah, I've been drawing. I draw these things for my daughter. I call them barfies, where I'll draw like I drew her little little stuffed animal puppy, but I drew it like just vomiting, and
I do love drawing vomit. You know, along with like a good head explosion. It's one of my favorites to draw.
Yeah, it's fun. I've never drawn an exploding head.
An exploding head? Oh, I recommend it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm very curious about this actually, Sticks McFly. I will tell you guys, I have 5 mad videos in mind to do, and I've written scripts for 3 of them so far. I don't know what this means. Is it like a documentary type thing? Is it educational? Is it...
He's coming for you. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
All I got to say is, like, just don't make any crumb videos. That's my beat.
Block him.
You'll be getting the Tom Richmond treatment if you come after my crumb videos. I'll say nice things about you and then put my foot in my mouth.
No, put my foot in my mouth. You'll put your foot in your mouth, and then you'll say nice things, which seem insincere then.
But I am sincere. That's my problem. Is it like I there's something wrong with my ability to come across as sincere. I think it's because I read Mad starting at 6 years old. It made me cynical.
It's because you have this little smirk that you get. So you're like saying things with a smirk.
That's because I'm drunk. That's because I'm always drinking. That's the thing that people don't realize on this channel is that like I'm an alcoholic.
Oh my goodness. Here's Paul Peter Porges with small but significant inventions of the past. And they're great. I mean, it's like...
I love that. Wallet size foot. So I know we're halfway through, but something I thought that would be fun to do with this issue is sort of pay attention to what inventions people, because there's a couple of the inventions like articles, you know, because it's kind of about that, and see which ones actually came true.
Yeah, well, let's jump ahead to that because like we're like,
this is Tom Richmond. You can just skip right over that. No, but actually, like, this would be an interesting one to look at because, like, what a fun opportunity for a cartoonist, you know, to do. Like, I haven't seen Ready Player One, but the concept is you can just put anything in there.
Yeah.
So, you know, there must be some great chicken fat in this.
Yeah. This guy it's like the bad guy. I forget his name. He's such a great actor. He was a bad guy in that Star Wars Rogue One. He was a bad guy in this. He kind of looks like Tom Richmond, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I never noticed that. I think I might have been in this issue, too. I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
I remember this coming out, so at the time I was like buying... they send you the issues you're in, and then I had to buy the issues that I wasn't in.
Yeah.
So it's hard to remember.
Hold on. So Stick says, I'll tell you the one I'm doing this weekend. It's a review of Spy vs. Spy action figures I bought in October. Oh, phew.
I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah. Now, hold on. Then he says this. You guys know I don't ever assume I know anything. You guys know I have one mad video already with 127,000 views. And then he goes, oops, sorry. 124,000.
Bit of a brag there.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look here. Popular videos.
Popular.
Oh, yeah.
Can you share your screen?
1969 Through the Eyes of Matt. I've never seen that. That was 3 years ago. That was really before I was really on YouTube.
What is it? Something about 69?
1969 Through the Eyes of Mad magazine. That's pretty fun. I could be into that.
Well, how do I find Sticks McFly?
I typed his name into the search.
Sticks?
But my wife's a librarian, so I know these sort of inside secrets.
Here's Sticks McFly. I don't see it. Oh, wait, look, there he is. He plays drums. Oh, that's where Sticks comes through.
If you go to videos...
It says it's inappropriate.
The video?
Yeah.
The drumming video.
No, look.
Anyway, there's a Don Martin image as the thumbnail, so...
Boom.
Really? There you go.
This video may be inappropriate. I started watching this video.
They're out of her misery. The main.
There you go. So you have no excuse. I can see from clicking it. I have not started watching this video.
All right.
I got the warning too. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Starts with the mad that I'm in though. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Those are my favorite mads, really.
Yeah.
It's the ones I'm in, then the ones that Harvey Kurtzman's in.
I am under 18. I'm 17.
I got the warning too, actually. So I think it's the first time you do it on a channel, maybe.
It's true experience. Hey, thank you. This is the right place to brag. And honestly, check that out. If you haven't been to Sticks McFly,
this is a terrible place to brag. Who's seeing it? What are you talking about? Go brag on Facebook. You can be friends with like famous cartoonists.
Oh man, dude! Wait, why did I just switch? Dude, they're so accessible on Facebook. It's unreal, man. All right. I won't tell.
No, but really though, if you're a cartoonist, like get on Facebook, start making friends.
Yeah, dude, I did
because you get to meet a lot of interesting people.
Yeah, I had 2 interviews. I interviewed 2 people recently from Facebook. I'm going to just say it. It's no secret. Howard Chaykin did a video interview with him. Larry Hama did a video interview with him.
I said something in passing, not like, kind of like the kind of thing that I always say on Facebook, and like about a famous cartoonist who I like love. And like he contacted me, was like, "Fuck you, buddy, piece of shit. Who do you think you are?" And I was like, "I'm sorry. Do you want me to delete the comment?" And he was like, "Yes, I do." It's like, okay, fine, but you're not rolling with the punches here.
Oh my god!
I remember I made the comment. I wasn't even thinking about it, and then I got the message on Facebook while I was at the grocery store. I was like, "Oh my god, it's like one of my heroes," and it was like him just being like, "You fucking piece of shit! How dare you? How dare you criticize me?"
Oh, I love it.
But amazing. I must have hit a chord, right? Like, because usually you don't get mad unless you really like comment on something they're really uncomfortable with.
Yeah. I
deleted the comments, so you can't figure out who it is.
Oh, dang it. You'll tell me later though, right?
Never. I'll never say who it was. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, jeez. All right, here we have the low-tech inventions for everyday needs. Al Jaffe. He has two of his inventions things are in here, right?
Yeah, I think he's got 2 inventions, and he's got another one that's sort of like connected to inventions.
Yeah, but when I was flipping through this, I did not. It's not the famous one like that. I forget what it is, but I think it was
the
a
razor.
smoke. Yeah,
the razor and the.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they went with something that maybe.
I gotta say, the worm bit here. I don't know if this was like contemporary to when I was a kid. 87. So I think I would have seen it in like super specials or whatever. But that worm bit, that like just captured my imagination.
Yeah.
Like it's like a little tube that you put a live worm in, and then you don't have to touch it to put it on your hook. In this ridiculous way that you would never bait a hook.
Yeah.
But it's just like so disturbing. It
It's
really captured my imagination at 7 years old.
All of these are like they're so well thought out. Like you would get these, and look at there's the removable cap. So you buy them. I imagine you would buy them almost like a pack of cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
You would take out your worm, pop off the cap, bait your hook, and then you're good to go.
And if you're drunk at a party, you might accidentally light a worm and be like, "Oh, damn it! I was gonna go fishing later."
Oh,
you ever do that? You ever go to a party like a late night drug alcohol fueled party, and then you're going fishing the next morning, and you go straight fishing right after?
Yeah, and you pick up a worm.
Oh man, yeah.
Here we have
I did that with my dad one time. I showed up to go fishing with my dad, and I was like still on acid. It was we didn't catch nothing. It was awful.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
He was good about it, though.
Here we have the no snag, no sag, teabag bag.
So does this exist? I feel like this is one that probably exists.
I think it might. Yeah. I just love these, dude. And then this one.
Sorry.
Looking up. Are you researching if the no sag teabag bag is there?
No, I dropped it. I dropped an earbud, and so.
Oh, I think. All right.
The sound kind of came in weird afterwards.
This is one where it's like that's like a legitimate invention he made. It's.
I mean, it doesn't exist though.
I know, but lots of inventions don't exist.
It's such a it's this one. The genius of this one is that it seems like a genius invention, but it's actually quite stupid and would really cause so many problems. Like it makes no sense to actually do it this way, but on the surface it seems like of course.
Yeah.
The extension cords are built in. But it's right away, it's like you have any problem with this thing, you have to open up the wall. You need an electrician or whatever.
Well, you could have an access panel.
That would look ugly. It defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah, that is true.
Right?
Yeah, and ultimately, yes, the fact that extension cords are temporary and can be moved and removed makes them superior.
Yeah. But it seems like such a good idea.
Yeah. This one is the No Panic paper purveyor.
This exists basically just without the sound. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have them on rotators where it's like they have those at my school where it's like you run out and then you just turn this thing.
Oh, that's like the oval one.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. What's good about those ones is you can see inside. But there's also this style where it's stacked. Yeah. I've seen that as well. But I don't think it just rolls out because otherwise people would just load up their bags, But it's on some sort of roll and
Yeah. Look at this. The hip no drip sipper. Wait, does this exist? Oh yeah, it's a sippy cup.
Yeah, that exists in other products.
Yeah.
Not as a disposable, I don't think I've ever seen it.
No. The bathroom blast.
This one's also funny because it's it's almost as bad as just having the sounds, right? Because it kind of magnifies what you're doing. And I picture you go in and it's something really gratuitous, I like big butts or something starts playing right away, or something like that.
Oh, great. Somebody's shitting again. Listen, here we go. This is a time for celebration. We're just getting to the center of the magazine. Free speeches on beaches. Yeah, writer Matt Cohen, artist Mark Palm. How did this come about? Well, I know because what's his face bought Twitter.
He was commissioned, as I understand it, because I don't think you can accept submissions, unsolicited commission or submissions. But if you go on his Patreon, it's free. It's not a paid Patreon post. He has a post about this where he shows the production and everything, and he talks about like how like surprised he was to get the call.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. For me, I feel like I can't judge it because I'm a huge Seuss fan.
Yeah.
And so, like, and I've done a lot of, like, copies, like, direct, like, practicing copies of Seuss, you know, not to, like, pass it off as my own, but, like, to, like, figure out how he did it, like, art copies, or whatever. And so whenever I see anybody else, like, sort of trying to replicate Seuss, all I can see is, like, where they missed it.
Yeah.
But whenever I try to, like, explain any of that to other people, it's like I feel like they don't necessarily see it. So, I mean, he has captured it really nice, like the shading. He's got the way that, like, Seuss, like, forgets to pick up his pen, you know, so he has these, like, W's instead of, like, hatches, and, you know, he's got all the things. But I would never mistake it for Seuss, like, in a million years.
No, but it captures it communicates Seuss, right? And
it is. It's a really nice parody, yeah.
Yeah. And it's
or homage or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Yeah. But it's certainly not like what you would see with like Wood or Elder, how they were able to like mimic.
Well, even them,
people.
I feel like if they did Seuss, I'm sure I would still look at it the same way because I've just like spent so much time studying them, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, their ability to mimic somebody was at a very high level.
I mean, this is at a very high level too. Like, this is very, like, well done, I think.
Nope, I hate it.
Is that how you feel?
No.
I think it's still, like, it's very good. Like, I think, like, he could easily be, because they do new Dr. Seuss books, right? Like, that are just illustrated by other people. He's just a brand now. And it really makes me sick. But you can, he could be doing that, yeah, for sure. Like, no one would know. Most people would never know.
There's a book I got for my kids called My Many Colored Days, and it was written by Seuss, but not drawn by him, and it was like posthumously published. But like his wife said that he wanted it published, and he wanted somebody who wasn't his art style to do it.
Well, he worked with other people.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever you see a book that's by Theo Leisig,
yeah,
that's his pen name for if he writes something but doesn't illustrate it.
But no, that's his actual name is Theodore Geisel, right?
Yeah, well, not Leisig.
Oh.
Leisig is backwards. It's like that. Yeah.
I heard his name when you said that.
Well,
that was weird.
Lixdexia is a horrible affliction. But he did a lot of books like that other people illustrated.
Yeah.
And that was the title he used. But now if you go buy those, they say by Dr. Seuss as Theo Leisig. So it's like, you know, just in case you don't know, you should be buying this because of X, not because of the quality of the product.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of thoughts about how Audrey Geisel sold him up the river.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got to save that. We'll save that. Save that for the next live stream. Make sure you guys tune in. Here's practical joke items for the computer. Here's a firing squad. Oh, I get it.
This is the one I said is kind of like tangentially kind of connected to it, you know, to the inventions, where it's like, sort of like different uses for them to mess with people.
Yeah. Oh no, they goofed it. Writer Dick DiBartolo, Seth Greenberg idea, artist Al Jaffe.
Where do you think they were going to put that?
I don't know.
It must be in the center of the page.
Yeah.
I bet you that's not that way on the digital.
No, sir.
I bet you if you get the digital, because they do corrections and stuff. There's been a few times I've seen mistakes like that. Because it's just obviously like a layer. Like the layers got shifted or something. It's so easy to do. But I bet it was supposed to be under the title.
Yeah. The paper feeder shredder. This handy little device attaches to the paper bale of any computer. 3 hidden miniature razor blades slice the finished copy as it comes out of the printer. Drives people nuts. Oh, man. Dick DiBartolo, when I have to say that his best stuff was not writing the TV and movie spoofs.
You think it was like the straight, like, sort of...
That, he would always... He would do stuff like this, where he would, like, write out people's ideas, but then he would have like he would always do like paperwork ones too, where it'd be like a resume like that you could fill out, or tax forms you could fill out. He was pretty good at that, like making fun of bureaucracy in that form, the paperwork form.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the future of job automation. Kenny Kyle, friend of the show, he's been on the show, and John Martz is the artist. And I kind of want to just go through some of this very quickly.
550. So this was in the last issue in New York.
What was? Oh, the future of job automation?
Is that 550?
Yeah, 550. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Originally published.
See, when they print these ones, I have a different kind of nostalgia for them, because once I started getting into Mad, I started reading it more often. Like, just before I started getting in, I started reading it frequently.
Yeah.
And so now I'm, like, nostalgic for it from a few years ago.
Yeah.
You know? As opposed to, like, from, like, 30 years ago.
Yeah, when you were a child and, like, really drinking it in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't drinking yet, but I was really, like, paying attention.
Yeah. You were smoking worms.
When I could get them. That's what they say in Canada. Smoke them if you got them.
What was this? The Mad's 50 worst things about the internet. We were bitching about this the other day, weren't we? Like a couple weeks ago. Like when you have things like
the
list of
list?
50. Yeah, it's like you get some that are good, but then it's just you get so many that are just sort of shoehorned in.
Yeah, I mean, for me, they kind of feel like a payday for the artists, you know?
Yeah. Well, except for this one, because it's a bunch of artists.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, they all get like a little.
Oh, they all
get
get
a
one
little slice, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, here's an extra illustration this month.
Yeah. I don't know. This is too much reading. I'm gonna just keep going through this. Well, you know what? I will say this. Like when I was reading this on my couch, it was kind of a fun little time machine, because this came out 2008. So like 15 years ago, approximately. And that's a long time, man. And the internet has changed a lot. And there's been a lot of fads that have come and gone that I don't even remember at all. Or like I totally have forgotten about.
Yeah, like Mad was like so far from my radar at that point. You know, there's so many different things going on in my life that I definitely was not paying attention to Mad, you know, like
yeah.
Maybe if I saw it like at the grocery store walking past, you know, maybe I saw the cover or two.
Yeah.
But
so where were you, mid-20s?
2008?
Yeah.
Yeah, mid to late 20s.
Yeah. Here we have some more inventions. This is written by Paul Peter Porges. Here, we should zoom in on this a little bit. So you have, for tailgaters with bright headlights on, rear-mounted bright lights. Oh, I'm getting my voice.
Sorry, my headphones just turned off here.
All right.
There you go.
For messy rooms that need quick cleanings, Insta neat screens.
This one kind of exists, right? Like, because we've got green screens now.
Oh, yeah.
And you're doing from home, you might be doing like classes or whatever. And so you've got like these kind of backgrounds that you can kind of throw on.
And you don't even need a green screen at this point. It like cuts you out and it's like, I'm in a dojo.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of fuzzy around the outside, disappearing when I move like this.
Yeah. And like random things will just sort of like appear behind me every once in a while.
Yeah. So that one kind of came true.
Yeah. For that hard to read small print, stretchable paper.
We have that. It's called Silly Putty. You get a little Silly Putty. You put that on your contract, stretch it out.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
I do like that, like, as much as I like things like this, right? Or the inventions that actually seem somewhat practical. These, like, kind of whimsical ones, like stretchable paper or, you know, puddle crossers. I really like these ones.
There's a fine line about, like, what works and doesn't work. You know, like, they have to be either, like, totally zany or they have to be like, hey, yeah. But then if you stop and think about them, like, you're like, oh, that's stupid.
Yeah. Like, well, yeah, maybe metal tips for your cigarettes to burn your lips. I mean, I guess that probably isn't a good idea. I don't think people would like that.
This one is totally weird. For monopolized public phone booths.
Yes.
3-minute time ejectors. Talk about a problem that people don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Like nowadays it would be like, where do you find a telephone booth, you know?
Yeah. This is Sticks McFly, the Mad Reader Survey was my favorite Di Bartolo. That's precisely the type of thing I was talking about. And I think that was one of them that I had in mind, but I just couldn't remember. Yeah, it was like a survey for mad readers, as the title would imply. But it was so great. It was so silly, but it was like all set up like a form that you would have to fill out. It was great. It was really great. Anyway, that's all.
We should fill out some of those.
Yeah.
Pick up some of those form stuff and do them. That would be a fun episode.
Yeah.
Favorite thing to do.
For people who are hate having their food tasted, sample proof plate. I like this one. This is like one of those ridiculous ones.
Yeah, like that one makes no sense. And look how it's operated with like a
3.
I guess because you're holding it, you can kind of like that's really thought out as like a sort of like visceral experience of like, but also like it's so stupid. And this is one that like would not work if it was like a lot of other cartoonists, you know. It's like Jaffe's just such a delight, like his style.
Dude, I love this, the pig's ass hanging out of the top of the grocery bag, like his hind legs.
Oh yeah.
It's just great, man. For crowded baggage. Oh, they have that. That's Apple AirTags. The crowded airline baggage pickup areas.
Oh, there you go.
Remote controlled luggage.
Tie a bandana. That's what you do. You tie a bandana. You don't want that?
Yeah.
Boom.
You know what
You're the one with the bandana. Or if you're looking to pick up someone else's luggage, you know, not to pick up that one. If you're doing like a key party kind of situation, you know, with the luggage corral.
Yeah. There's the umbrella scabbard.
I'm surprised that's not a fashion item.
It might be. I think
that guy looks so cool.
Yeah, you know, like those weebs that really love Japanese stuff. You know, there's one walking around with a samurai sword umbrella.
God, I was at this convention one time. It was full of like it was very like anime focused, and so you couldn't get a cup of coffee anywhere. Everyone drank tea.
Yeah,
I was just like, fuck off! Give me a coffee. I want a fucking coffee. Like I can't do this without coffee. What's the matter with you people? Made me so mad.
No, they go all in. They go all in, and it's off-putting, I have to say. Huckleberry. I do like this. The R and X-ray movie. It's Huckleberry Finn meets Lolita.
There you go. That's super problematic.
Well, I got
on minor.
Oh, never mind.
Plus, there's a racist element too.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about like, hey Lolita, I'll pick you up. My friend Jim will drive us.
Have you read that book?
Which one? Huckleberry Finn or Lolita?
Lolita.
No, I have not. I only know it by reputation. Yeah.
Lolita's better, I think. Lolita's really good. Nabokov. Oh my god, what a wonderful book.
Well, I'm not going to read it, I don't think.
It's good. It really like implicates you in like a disturbing way, you know, like as a reader, and like it's, you know, it's really interesting, and it's like because it's written like it's a like he's an unreliable narrator, right? So it's like because written from the perspective of like the abuser, you know, like it's really interesting book, really shocking, really disturbing, but like really well written. Like Nabokov is such a beautiful writer.
It's like one of those things with like artwork that is made to make you feel uncomfortable, and
you don't like that.
sometimes I do. Sometimes I delight in it. Other times it's just too. Well, I think like at this point, having children, I think that changes my perspective a little bit.
On literature.
Yeah, on literature. I don't read it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read it. I haven't read it since I had a kid. I don't have a daughter though. I don't know. Maybe that would change it. But like, if anything, I think it would make it better. Because it's just much more disturbing and much more upsetting. Which just makes it like hit home all the more and like make you want to just like strangle this guy. He's such an asshole.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to be upset in that way.
It's a very upsetting book. It's very upsetting, but very elegant prose. Very well written.
Oh shit.
Anyway, I just love that book.
This is a family show.
Well, we're not talking about the details. I could talk about the details of the book, but like the actual like book itself, it's classic.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they made it into a movie
a couple times.
Yeah. So it must have something to offer. Here, Accidental Inventions, Paul Krasner, artist Joe Orlando. The thing that bugs me, I think I've said this on other videos that I filmed. Joe Orlando never submitted anything to MAD that was even remotely close to what he did for EC. And I know that they're different things, but it kind of bums me out because like some of the stuff I've seen that he did in EC is just like, it's amazing. It's beautiful. And, I mean, this is good. I like it. It's very skillful, but it's just not the same.
Well, I mean, he's the artist on this, so he's not submitting it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe comedy wasn't as much his sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he wasn't really in, like, MAD all that much,
No, he wasn't. He doesn't have that many contributions to it. And I think he just sort of stopped. I think, I don't know, maybe he retired or was like, this isn't really for me. This is the one I want to talk about, though. I was super excited to see this. The Blobs.
Looks great. Like, I was really impressed with the coloring, it doesn't translate. Like, that kind of, like, old newsprint comic doesn't translate well to this kind of paper.
Yeah.
And so, like, often when things are sort of digitally recolored, it's like you get that, like, kind of tinny, new kind of, like, just pukey style of coloring.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, whoever colored this, like, tried to capture that original feel with an awareness of, like, that it's a different kind of paper and everything.
Yeah. Was this, so you think that it was colored?
It wouldn't be just scanned. You couldn't just scan it from the original. I mean, I guess you could maybe use like the coloring that you use for like one of the other volumes and kind of just like, tweak it or whatever for the paper.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and this is why I brought up Jodorowsky before and Inkle, because in Inkle, Jodorowsky he talks about homeo whores. That's what he called them. Plug your ears if you're a child. Homeo whores. And then they have them here, right? This predates it. So whenever I see stuff like this, especially with this comic in particular, I just wonder, what if that was an inspiration to Jodorowsky, if this was an inspiration at all. I know he was a foreigner. Some Frenchman or something. So maybe he never even read it.
He was like really inspired by American comics, especially the Undergrounds.
Yeah.
That kind of like sort of gave him permission to like be kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was reading MAD or anything like that. But this particular comic was very influential, I think. Because MAD #1, Blobs.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful story. If you haven't read this before, basically the premise is that it's set in the future and like there's machines that do everything for you, that like walk for you, that feed you, that think for you. Most people can't even think anymore. They speak for you. You've got robot wives, and that kind of tells us.
No, they're not wives.
Women. Just called women. Robot women.
They're like they're love dolls. Oh no, I guess there are.
They're kind of wife-like.
Yeah.
I feel like they're sort of like, because I think that comes up that they don't need wives anymore, right? Because they actually have like the wife that's in like the bubble or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a little bit reactionary in that sense. It's like, you give them vacuum cleaners, and next thing you know, you don't even need them anymore.
Yeah.
But then the conceit is that there's like a couple of blob people that still manage to be able to think, and they've got machines that fix the machines that fix the machines that fix the machines, but they don't have machines that fix the machines that fix the machines that fix the machines. And like basically this person figures out like, well, what happens if that machine breaks down? Yes. And that's exactly what happens,
Yeah.
And it's kind of like stereotypical sci-fi at the time in a sense, but in a very humorous way.
What I loved about it, and this is like another thing, when I read it, I was very young. It was a reprint in one of the super specials.
1952. Super specials.
Yeah. And then what came out shortly after was a movie called Wall-E. And I was like, holy shit, this is like...
Yeah, that really trafficked in that kind of idea.
Yes, especially like, the total dependence. And I mean like things like this where they're like handing you drinks and you have the little hover cars that will bring you along. And they did not get into this, the robot women. But, presumably there was something like that on Wall-E's ship.
That's in the extended cut or whatever.
Yeah.
The R cut.
Yeah. The director's cut. That'd be so sick. A director's cut of Wall-E where it was just like turned into some like Jodorowsky.
Well, do you watch like Jodorowsky films? They've seen like Holy Mountain,
no.
El Topo. What else did he do? Did like a carnival one. He's got a bunch of them.
Really?
Very, very weird stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would like it. Like talk about like, cinema designed to make you like feel bad, feel weird and stuff like that. It's very disturbing. Lots of like, like amputees and like stuff like that in there.
Okay.
There's that one point in I think it's the Holy Mountain where they like set up like a retelling of like the Spanish conquest of like Mexico or whatever, like the Mixtecs or whatever group, but it's like he's basically just got like frogs and lizards and he just like blows it all up and stuff. It's like pretty shocking stuff.
So it's like it's real stuff. It's not an animation.
Yeah, it's like a non-linear film in a sense. Like it's linear, but it's linear. It doesn't have like a typical narrative. It has like a narrative of like the Kabbalah or something. Like it's going through like a sort of like esoteric sort of system like that, like the Kabbalah or tarot or something like that, and that's sort of representing that visually by going to different planets and having all this different stuff. But it's not, it doesn't seem sci-fi. It's more like, here's a weird old lady like with blue hair sitting on a really tall toilet, like really weird stuff.
Yeah. Huh. All right. I'll check it out maybe. But maybe I won't because I'm not set to feel uncomfortable.
I'd say it's less shocking than El Topo. It's more shocking by it's the way that it doesn't adhere to traditional storytelling or whatever. That's what's more shocking about it, I think, than El Topo, which is like much more deeply upsetting.
Yeah. All right.
That's like a Western. It's like which I think he has a comic series of, like Sons of El Topo.
Huh.
I don't think like Mobius wasn't the artist on it, I don't believe, but
yeah. Okay, here we have, this is you asked me to pull another issue.
Yeah. Whenever I see Spy versus Spy in color, I want to see it in black and white, because when I said earlier I feel like I don't like it's not resonating anymore. I think maybe the color has a plays a role in that.
Yes.
Because this black and white is so much nicer.
It is, and it reads a lot more differently than when it's colored. I mean, like, you lose, I don't know, you even lose details. Like with the Spy, they have them behind glass, so there's like a cute little haze on it. But
This is the kind of coloring I was talking about that they could have done for blobs. It would have been just made me like retch and vomit, you know, like it's like, yeah, like I feel like I get a lot more out of the other, like the black and white Spy versus Spy.
Yeah, it seems unnecessary to color these, and it does. It reads totally differently, and yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't like it.
Oh my god! Like even look at like the way that they've taken. So like the lines on the little missiles as they're shooting up, it's like those actual have been converted to colors.
Oh,
you know, and that like really changes the like, you know, the sort of structure of like the composition. You know, like one thing I sort of tell students to do is like, you know, try to like unfocus your eyes when you look at something and sort of like just see where like the shadows and stuff are, where like the richest, you know, sort of like lowest values and the highest values and stuff. Or if you have glasses, take them off. And it's like your color artwork should function the same as your black and white artwork. Like it should only enhance that. It should not be different, right? Like, and so a lot of like artists who work in color, they work in black and white and then convert those colors after. You know, like so that you have like, you know, the values and like the contrasts and all that, because it's part of the composition, you know. And this like really hurts it. Like all of the like motion lines, you know, just fade into the green.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's worse on the screen here than it is actually in the book, but
but like even the motion lines here, like with him, they've been changed from black to white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I take back what I said earlier about Spy versus Spy. I feel like the color takes away the thing that I still get out of Spy versus Spy, which is just reveling in like the artwork and the world and everything. Whereas the color, I think, just hurts it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like watching that stupid video game that you always play.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I got to play that again. I'm going to do that next.
Oh my God, please don't.
Live stream. No, it's great. People love it.
Oh my God.
Hate the background color. Could have been gray or white. Yeah, the green is...
That would have helped. Like,
yeah,
white would have helped a lot. But I mean, then you couldn't have had all the like the light colors for the like the missiles and stuff. You would have to use the lines. And like I feel like that's really changing the composition. Like when you change black lines to white, it's like that is so different. Like the way that your eye reads that, you know, is so different.
Yeah.
And Spy versus Spy is like, it's really known for having these like dynamic lines, you know, like, you know, that's like the Proteus style, you know.
Yeah. Well, this is like, why color this but not color this?
My guess is that like it's not like Susie down at Mad coloring them. She probably just has access to like everything, and she's probably just trying to balance the book with like feeling of like color and black and white and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know? And these were probably colored at some point and sold in some volume, you know, maybe for Mad Kids or something like that.
Maybe. You
know, because I think there is an attitude that like people look down on color. Like once color is in the picture, like I think there's kind of like especially like in the like when Mad would have went to color.
Yeah.
You know? There might have been like a kind of feeling like everything has to be color and like black and white kind of doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I think later they kind of brought more black and white stuff even when they were printing in color.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Well, hey, how about this? Should we talk about this fold-in?
Yeah, are you going to fold it?
I thought about it, to be honest.
Oh, really?
But no, I'm not going to. The question is this. This is Johnny Sampson. It used to be Johnny Sampson. This is the only new thing that we had, but now we have two new things, right? We have the fold-in and we have... What, back cover is a new thing?
Front cover.
Front cover. Yeah, good point. Good point. Now we have
plus
3.
Susie's joke.
Okay, so 4 versus
That's
3.
0.5.
Yeah, 0.5. I love Susie's joke. Oh, shit!
Look, I'm not saying that it doesn't count as whole one,
Susie,
because it's not good enough.
Says,
it's because it's only one on a page.
I'm not in control of him. I'm telling you.
Damn it! I can never mention anyone from Mad. They always show up and I look like an asshole.
Yeah. Well, listen, I look forward to the explanation you give Tom Richmond and Susie Hutchinson. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you for keeping Mad going. And
more Spy versus Spy in black and white, please.
Yeah, wait, can you type out an explanation about Spy versus Spy in color?
And here's one for Patrick, an all Monroe issue. There you go. Collected Monroe.
What if we did a Monroe issue?
I don't know where the we is coming from, but...
I'm in this with you, Suze. Come on. That'd be so great. Oh, jeez Louise. All right. Well, listen, let's check this out. So we got our fifth new item of the issue. Let's zoom in. God damn it. You never cease to embarrass me. What new tech innovation is sure to make a killing? Oh, look, there's a word balloon. I love that. Eureka, we did it. Modern technology has seemingly limitless potential for growth, and investors want a slice of the pie. This industry is booming due to its robust consumer demand. To be sure, there is lots of money to be made, but at what cost? All right, here we go. Wait, I don't have it queued up. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Okay, hold on.
Amateur hour. Amateur hour.
What new tech innovation is sure to make a killing? Police robots. Police.
Beautiful.
Robots. Here we go. Yes, I was trying to balance the book, as you were saying, Kyle, but I figured
that's exactly what I said.
The kid want to see colors. Listen.
So I stand by the fact that I've never been wrong in my life then. Because I thought that might have been the one time, but
it's looking like it. It's looking pretty good.
I'm batting a 100 here.
Yeah.
I love the colors on this. Looks like it looks like it would be glow in the dark, you know?
Hey, shut up for a second. Hey, Susie.
Never.
What are the chances of you coming on the show sometime, non-committal? You don't have to say a number of months or weeks or days. What are the chances? 0 to 100%. I look forward to your reply.
Susie, before you answer that, I just want to ask you, I got a show too. What are the odds of you coming on my show and I'm just kidding. I don't have guests, so.
Oh my goodness. But here she says, I too prefer the black and white.
Oh, wow. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? I mean, and like, I could see where it's kind of interesting to see them in color, I guess. I just so sad. They're so good in black and white.
It's really cool to see you backpedal.
Well, not backpedaling, but like I could see that. I didn't point that out. I was curious. Did it go under the title or did it go at the bottom of the page?
You don't have to answer that. You don't have to explain anything to him. Wouldn't that be fun? What if you came on a new issue one? Oh, that would be a get.
She's probably trying to keep her job,
Oh yeah, that's a good point. All right.
Look at me, like my career opportunities have only tanked since coming on your show. It was better when no one could hear me.
Yeah, this is your number
level
one
with me
program.
Though. Your hat's made of a tennis ball, right?
No, it's not. It's made out of it's all nylon or something, or some type of polyester.
Looks like one of those tennis balls.
But it's got like a little fanny pack for the top. But I like how it is.
What the hell do you keep in your hat?
Well, nothing. It's impractical. But I like it. It's stylish. I like the colors. Okay. Anyway. I was going to make a comment about how you use this program exclusively to burn bridges.
Oh my God, it's the worst. It's the worst. I'm surprised they don't have like a nickname to that effect, you know, with my last name being Bridgette, you know?
Yeah. And have you guys shred my blood, sweat, and tears live? That sounds too painful.
Listen, we only say nice things about you. You know, I've tried not to, but it's hard.
It's just sometimes just things, when things come into my mind, they just come out of my mouth.
Anyway, I like to think we also say nice things too.
Yeah, and certainly, I hope you know that I hope you know that I appreciate the hard work that you're doing, and your dedication of it. Why do I feel like I'm like explaining myself to the principal right now? All right, guys. Listen, we got to wrap this up. I look to this channel for hats and glasses fashion. Thank you. You got to come with a hat.
He's talking about my glasses.
There's nobody important is going to see it.
I hope.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Harvey, look at Mark Silk. Howdy from early o'clock in the UK. Look at, what's up, man? Great to see you. Sticks McFly. Susie, thank you for dropping by. All of you who have been here during this live stream, I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit like, hit subscribe. Check out Kyle's channel. It's down in the description below. And I don't have this thing ready. A toodaloo.